Welcome, everybody. Oops, just made a mistake. Just made a video, put it out there just now with regards to these. There you go. Blue Opal. And their name is Violet Flame. Blue Opal. And they are from Mexico. As some people pointed out on the website, you are right. I've had blue opal from all over the place. Mexico, I've had them from Peru. And just in my head, I said Peru. And then after the video, I went, oh, from Mexico, Mark, what's wrong with you? But anyway, mistakes are made and mistakes are corrected. Not many in my 20 years, but there you go. That's why I'm far more interested in holding a crystal and telling you what they feel like to the property of mineral content or where they're dug. Those things don't really interest me so much, but I do appreciate that people do want to know. So yeah, wrote it down, Mark. So there you go. I wanted to just put that out there so you all know. So I did actually say as well that if anybody did buy one of my beautiful crystals and you bought it because you thought it was from Peru, you are wholeheartedly welcome to get a full refund, and we'll get it back. We'll ship it back ourselves, no problem. So, but yeah, as it goes, sorry guys. Only happens when I do a live. Nice to see you all. Welcome for joining me. I sometimes don't realize, but when I'm doing what's it called? It's a recording. It sometimes goes out on YouTube as if I'm ready to do a video. I absolutely, I'm sorry if you were waiting. I don't really know how to change that. I'm going to have to ask somebody. But I was doing a recording with one of the staff at Bajerski.com and our techie guy who works for us as well. And we had a conversation for an hour and 40 minutes with regards to Bajerski.com website of how we can make it easier for people to maneuver and buy a product and make it easier to see what they've, all the things that people have asked us. So we've spent an hour and a half talking about it. How is it possible to implement certain things? The website was built from scratch. So I had so many problems because I don't know if you know, but the website itself is absolutely massive, meaning that we have over 20,000 products on there. Now, it's not 20,000 products of, like I put one picture of a MOLDAVITE and then you buy, it's one picture and you can buy it 100 times. No, each crystal is unique. So every time I upload a photo on the website, it's of this one, and that's what you get. So we've got between 18 and 20,000 crystals on there. It's a massive website. It holds so much information. And I don't think we could have had such a brilliant website running as smoothly as it is right now if we would have gone to somebody else who would have just used plugins, because plugins slow your website down. And there's no way, you look at most websites, unless they spend 300,000 or 400,000 euros on a website, most websites might carry a few hundred, if you're lucky, 500 products of crystals on a selected one crystal. Some websites only hold 200. Imagine having nearly 20,000 products. If you go to my shop and scroll down, there's over 350 categories of crystals. Each one, you click on each one of those categories, sometimes you'll find 300, 500 of that very crystal. Sometimes you might find 50 or 150. So the reason why I'm saying this is because it was built by a professor and a professor at university who has worked all his life on a certain platform. So he built it as a platform exactly how we wanted it. No plugins. It was built from scratch. So this platform is called WordPress. So it's been a while, and it's done us so proud over these past, I don't know, 8 years maybe, when it was made. It's done us proud. It's been really good. It doesn't fall apart. It's not slow. It's done really, really well. So applying something new to this website, we brought somebody in who we thought might be new eyes. And she came up, we paid her for a consultation, and she had some great ideas. And of course, like most people who do this work, they want the work. So she gave us 3 options. One was to build a new website. And I'm like, no, there's no way you're going to be able to build a website like we've got. And I couldn't imagine she didn't understand that, why she looked in the backboard, because there's no plugins. It was built in as it's built to be robust. So she started saying, oh, I want to build another website with plugins. And I know for a fact that plugins are not always good, and they slow your computer down. And the fact that we've got so many products, it kind of shocked me. So we didn't decide to go along with any of the plans that she wanted to do, because it just didn't make any sense. And neither did it to Philip, who basically has been brought up with WordPress and knows it back to front. So we are applying some ideas, some new filters, and to make it easier for your enjoyment on markbajerski.com. We might even add a few more slides and change a few things around. Like, we would like to be able to promote the new beautiful sprays. I'd like to promote them somewhere, and it's hard to find them. So I'd like to get them on maybe the homepage, saying, look, we have some beautiful new products which are doing really well. I don't need to advertise them too much, because you guys know them already. But it's nice when somebody who doesn't know who Mark Bajerski is, who's driven there, and then they're looking for stuff, and they need it to be easier to find products. And that is one thing we know about. And that's why we spent 1 hour and 40 minutes trying to discuss things, to try and implement new things onto the website, but keeping it in the same robust energy, and trying to apply things to the professor's understanding of how we can do it, so it's not causing any issue to the website. So really, that's it. Today's been a very interesting day. I'll be heading out of here soon in a few days, and I'll be going to the UK to do some crystal hunting as well, and to visit my family, which is nice, to say hello to my grandchildren, 3 beautiful grandchildren, boys, all boys. So that'll be nice to see them. And my daughter's going to meet up. So we're all going to go on a train ride together or do something lovely. That's it, really. Other than that, we're just working away on everything else. Please be aware, while it's right next to me, that if you do go to markbajerski.com and you've spent £50, your £50 will be turned into a raffle ticket. So if you spent £100, that's 2 raffle tickets, and so on. So you will be in the prize draw for all of these. I can't show you too much, but because if I bend it too much, you're going to miss them. Look at them. So they are beautiful, beautiful, all of them. So yeah, this is first prize. This is first prize. So I've added some more crystals as well. Should I add this one as well? Yeah. Oh no, there's already one in there, so I don't need to do that. Is there that one? See, that's been around my neck for maybe 4 years. I'm going to add it to it. Yeah, why not? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. 39. $40. So there's between 4.5 to 5,000 euros of crystals here, pounds of crystals, moldavites, Vesuvianites, tiger tail, trio, beautiful. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. Oil-filled quartz, absolutely gorgeous. Vesuvianite, Morsitsit, beautiful piece of Morsitsit. Green amethyst, absolutely gorgeous. Angel aura, absolutely gorgeous. That's blades from Brazil, blades of light from Brazil. Yeah, gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. Guess, it's opal. Guess, yes, Mount Shasta. Beautiful. Piece of chocolate. Beautiful. Beautiful, unusual piece of Vivianite there. Gorgeous. Red opal, red coral. Nice bit of copal. Groslia, garnet, gorgeous. Lovely. Gobi Desert, beautiful. Look at this. This is exquisite piece. What is that? Yes, a bit of cavensite. Gorgeous. Lovely. Look at the colour of that. Obsidian, sheen, green calcite. Beautiful. There come a diamond. Can you see? And then tektite. And Libyan desert. So there's all these moldavites. They're only small, but still beautiful. Another moldavite there. A small Super 7, beautiful. Tektite, beautiful piece of polished tektite. Absolutely gorgeous. Fairy stone. Yeah. Anyway, let me put them back. Great. Very good. Very good. So yeah, that's the first prize, and the prize draw is on the 27th of December, and the second prize is a £250 voucher. Third prize is 1 year supply detox aura spray and 1 year supply cleansing negative energy spray and 1 year supply of negative energy incense sticks. So it's a lovely Christmas bonus for you guys. So if you've gone to markbajerski.com from now, or I think it was like a week ago or something like that, you'll see the video when it first started. But anyway, if you go now and you've made a purchase, then every 50 gets turned into a ticket. So that's amazing. That's just for my clients who go there most weeks or months. So just bear that in mind next time you buy something. Just think, oh, I got a ticket. And you will have, and you never know. The surprise people who win, it just blows them away. And the letters are gorgeous when they come, like tearfuls. I mean, imagine getting all of those. Do you need any more crystals? I don't think so. 40 crystals will do you a lot for a long time. And they're all beautiful. They're just about every one of them a signed MB collection. I think all of them. Yeah. I think all of them are signed MB. They all went to ballet, and they were all mounted in ballet. So they're all sterling silver 925. So that's beautiful. So there you go. That's it, really. I only came on just to apologize for, you know, making a mistake of saying that they were from Peru and they're from Mexico. But just to clarify it so you all know. That's it, really. Anything that you want to say before I go? Yeah, me too. I want to visit Bali as soon as possible. But it's affording it. It's cheap when you get there, but the plane flights are fairly expensive. So I just read an article actually the other day that said that they've never had as many business class flights to Bali ever. They're all full. So some people must be mega wealthy in this world for sure. So there you go. I don't really know. I didn't have anything to say, to be fair, so I don't really know what to say. I just wanted to come on and say hello. I hope you're all doing fine. Everything's cool here. It's been a mind set today of just fully focusing on the website. So, and just worked on a few of them this morning. Well, a few, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 over there. I worked on 13 of them over there. And I've got some Mount Shastas that I have to work on from, like, I've spent about, I think about 7 hours on them. And I've still got, about another 10 hours on them. So they'll be going online soon. But other than that, everything's fine. Oh, yeah, that's what I need to do. Yeah, I think we've just about sold out of all the oil sets. So there were 50 oil sets that we had left. Normally when we get down to 50 sets, sometimes, not always, I'll say just put them on special offer at 120. So all my oil sets, all of the oils, 10 of them are now at 120 plus free DHL delivery. So it's like giving them away for the last 50 sets for people who can't afford. So please, if you've been wanting the oil sets and you know that the 300 euros, they're now 120, including free DHL. So yeah, I don't know how many is left. Soon as it's gone, soon as they've gone, they've gone. They were at 20, I think it was 21 last night. So they've nearly gone because we had 50. So we sold 13 a day or two. So I don't know now. I couldn't say unless I go onto the website and check how many is left. But anyway, I still think there might be a few. So just in case, if they've gone, they've gone. I can't do that all the time. I'd love to, but yeah, it's just as a gift. Anything else? I don't think so. Nothing else to say, really. Just got to get on with work. Just got to crack on. It's Monday today, right? Okay, guys. That's really heartbreaking to read. Gundo. Yeah, I don't want to get upset, but yeah, heartbreaking. Heartbreaking. Okay, let's just see. Somebody's asked a question there. What would be the best way to use Moldavite oil? Well, for me, I use Moldavite oil when I'm doing any of my psychic work, any kind of channeling, any kind of absent healing. Astral travel is probably the best to use it for if you want to get out of the body. It's fabulous. I normally use it on the third eye, normally put it here and put it at the back of the head and here and at the neck. Normally pulse points, and then rub it in my hands, breathe it in, and then just start to meditate and do the work and just see what happens. It's fabulous, fabulous stuff. Sometimes wear it when I'm confronted by issue and I don't know where to turn or what to do. I do exactly the same thing and then just sit and meditate, and normally it comes to me. The answer normally comes. Whether it's that moment or the night or in the morning, I've normally got a resolution. If I'm doing psychic work and it's for maybe somebody that I know and care for, and they give me, a question, I'll put the oils on and I'll use my cards, and I get a heightened level of awareness. If I'm wanting to start a project, or if I'm in between a book and I'm kind of, stuck with a book, some people call it writer's block, I'll use it then and meditate. I like to use the music, this music, the Native American music, flute. I love to do that. It's a beautiful energy to get me into the place where I need to be. And if I go to sleep and I want to, I don't know, I want a different experience, I use Moldavite oil. I'll put it on the temples, third eye, back of the neck, like same, a little bit on my crown, and just go to sleep. But the only thing with that is if you've got pillows, you're going to have to wash them, because you've got, hello, sheep farm. What are you doing here? You got nothing to do? Lovely having you on. This is Chris, right? I think it's Chris. I don't think it's Dom. I don't think Dom sort of jumps onto things like this. Am I right or wrong? I could be wrong. I have no idea. I'm not psychic. I haven't put my Moldavite oil on. It's Dom. No way. I didn't realize, Dom. I didn't think you lower yourself to coming onto, shows like this, especially when he's got nothing to frigging say apart from an apology because he got the crystal wrong yesterday, and said it was from Peru when it's actually from Mexico. Oof, not like Mr. Bajerski. Hey, slips up there, silly bugger. That's because he's from Yorkshire. Yeah, Dominic's a good lad. We share some good times together. I often speak about the time we went to Ibiza together, and one night we walked down the main road, and this girl who was touting, as most of them do, she came up to me and Dom and started touting to get us to go to one of the nightclubs. And I looked at her and I said, and I always remember it to this day, I was never anybody who thought of anything like I did psychic work or anything like that, nothing. I said, oh, I know. I said, I know you. I said, I'm psychic, right? Or something like that. And she says, how? And I said, you're from Borough Bridge. And her face dropped. And so did mine, right? Because she says, how do you know I'm from Borough Bridge? And I said, because I'm psychic. But I did the exact same thing when my second wife was in bed about to give birth. I had a pack of cards because we were playing cards. And I said to Susie, I said, watch this. And she said, what? And I got the card and I said it. I said, like, ace of clubs. And then I showed it her, and it was ace of clubs. And I said, two of diamonds, and it was two of diamonds. I said, king of hearts, and it was king of... I'm not joking. The weirdest feeling in the world is to look at what you're doing, and every card that you said was coming true. And she was on everything, gas and air, epidural. So she was flipping anyway. But can you imagine now there's a guy turning cards over, telling her every card, like, so she was tripping, and so was I, because I was taking the gas and air as well, because that's the kind of guy I was. And then there was the time that I was at a friend of ours, and we went to, it's not far from here actually. It's called Benavis. It's very beautiful. And she had a place there, and she used to work at the Benavis Hotel and she used to do massage. And we were at a house, and we went into a house, and her mum was there and she was there, and there were some cards. She was sat down turning some cards over. At this time, I had no idea what any of this was. I didn't know what tarot cards were. I just thought they were hocus pocus bullshit. And so me being me, I said, oh, I use them. And she went, you don't? I said, yeah, I use it. I know how to use them. She says, would you do me a reading? I said, yeah, of course I would. Straight face. So I sat down with her. I got the card, shuffled them, and turned one over, and then started telling her a life story. Turned over another one and carried on telling her a life story. As I was talking and looking at the cards, right, I was telling her a life story. What I didn't realize is that I thought I was joking. I literally thought I was taking the Michael, right? But what I didn't realize is that when I looked up from the cards, she was crying. And she says, how do you know that? How do you know that? That's amazing. And I then looked at her and shook myself out of it and said, I'm joking. I've never used them before. And she says, well, you've just told me what I need. Like, how did you know that? How did you do it? These are the synchronicities. These are the moments that we don't see our true path. I didn't even see that. I didn't see any of those things that happened to me that I'm talking about. Those synchronicities, those signs that I just laughed off. And it wasn't until I was dragged to a place because I thought I was selling some funnily enough, some bracelets, that I thought I was going to a place, and it wasn't actually a place I was going to sell bracelets. I was actually being brought to a place where they do, of all things, absent healing. I was sat down with a group of people, and I ended up in, they were all from Denmark. They're all Danish. And like, I couldn't believe where I'd been pulled to. I couldn't believe the lie of this lady to bring me here, to bring me to this crazy place where they were all saying and I didn't know what they were doing. But their lies, the incredible synchronicity of Spirit's helping hand, that they lead us to places, whether it's cheekily, whether it's abruptly, or whether it's just by chance or coincidence, or, you know, in my case, I was duped into, she told me that, oh, they're beautiful, them crystals. You should come to one of our evenings that you can meet these people. And I'm like, okay, so you've just asked me about my jewelry. You want me to come to meet a group of people? I can do that. So I actually brought the bag with all my crystals, and like, I'm not here to sell crystals. What the hell am I doing here? But look at that. Look at that transformation from me accepting that and not running out of the house, which I thought I was going to do, but I didn't, because there were some lovely cakes Danish cakes, and I thought, well, after this madness, whatever happens here, after this and this silence and this smell of weird smell like of the church, I thought I was in a cult. But I for some reason I stayed, and I guess there's a moral in that story. Sometimes we are led to places that we think we shouldn't be, and yet if we just let go and just accept where we are at any given moment, and just go with it, sometimes miracles can happen. I mean, look at me now. I mean, I'm not being big-headed or anything, but if I wouldn't have done this, I would have probably been a wreck. I'd have probably been a drunk or an idiot or doing, still lifting furniture and breaking my back, or I might be back in the UK because things that have gone wrong, but because I followed that gut feeling that I should just continue doing this, and whatever it is, just follow it, even though in my head it was crazy, and these were a cult group that, one of them's going to ask us to go into a cave and roll the stone and we all die in there. I had all these awful thoughts, like, what they're going to do? Are they all weirdos, start ritual stuff? But it just only goes to show, guys, that, sometimes, when we are open enough and when we are ready, then we are guided to the right place for what we're truly here to do. I know a lady at 89 years old who is still here and still doing really, really strong and still doing well. And her path didn't occur to her for, I don't know. It's like she just was happy in her life. She was just happy doing nothing, and it didn't affect her. And, it's like, I'm going to get married, she said. And I'm like, I didn't actually see anybody in the cards, and she was like, oh no, I'll definitely get married. And I'm like, she's 89 years old. She flew up the stairs to my reading room, and she drove a beautiful silver, what was it now? It was a Mercedes, and it was a Mercedes Sport. She wasn't good at parking, but that's when she said to me, that's why she has bumpers. She says, well, that's why we have bumpers, darling. I'm like, she was from Marbella. I'm like, yeah, but you're not meant to hit another car and hit the one at the front. She says, well, that's why you have bumpers. She was funny. And surely enough, 3 or 6 months later, she was back, and she was married. And she always knew she was going to get married, but it took her till 89 to get married. Quite fascinating, really, when you realize that people who are like 30 or 35 get panicking about, oh, I should be married now. Imagine somebody who's never been married up until they get to 89, and then they feel that they want to get married to somebody. Being a psychic reader, you get to meet the most strangest people in the world, but the most amazing people. Those that open your mind to things that you would never understand, because most of us have been brainwashed into a society that we grow up, we go to college, we go to university, we get a good job, we get promoted, we get married in between that and have 2.5 kids. We have a lovely holiday once a year, and then we retire, and then we die, And when you meet people out of that box, like Tim, I met Tim. I actually thought he was a bum. I actually said to my ex-wife, Susie, when we were together, I said, why do you even talk to him as a bum? And she says, no, he's really interesting. I said, no, he's a bum. I said, anybody who lives in a cave up in the mountains is a bum. Got to be a bum. That's how I was at that time. Obviously judgmental. And then I get to know him when I started this spiritual path, and gets to talking to him, and Susie was absolutely right. He wasn't a bum at all. He just didn't want to conform to society, and he bought and sold crystals, and I didn't know anything about that until I got to know him. And now he's you know, one of the most amazing guys that I'm inspired by. And I've always wanted to go up to the mountain and sleep in the cave as well, because he talks about extraterrestrial occurrences up there, which, you know, we're on a ley line, so these things happen. There is definitely some connection between ley lines and extraterrestrial vehicles that I think pull. I think there's some kind of pull from the energy of the earth. I don't know exactly, but just like the water, I think there's a pull with water. They take the energy of water and so on. But anyway, it's interesting because he told me the last time he was up there that he had an encounter of some vehicle coming, something came right above his head and just hovered there for a while and then shot off again. And I thought, wow. But yeah, he comes here from time to time. I haven't seen him for a while, so I don't know where he is because of COVID nonsense. And but if he comes again, he'll normally send me a message, and I've got some crystals. And yeah, I actually give him more crystals than he gives me, and I pay him as well. But it's lovely to be able to do that and help him, because that's his form of living. And he does a little bit of painting at people's houses, and then when he's got enough money, he'll go off to Greece or different parts of the world, and he'll start digging for crystals here and there. And yeah, it's just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Different lifestyle completely. Lives in monasteries. He lives with monks. He lives with nuns, and he goes all over the place and just lives anywhere. Last time I spoke to him, he was sat on a rock in Greece, and he was meditating on this rock by the sea. And he opened his eyes, and when he opened his eyes, he saw somebody sat on another rock across from him. And it was a woman. And she walked over to him, and they ended up having a relationship together. I don't know how long it lasted, because I don't know if they're still together or not, but I can't imagine it would last for a long time, because when you've got that kind of spirit that is driven by the love of self, being happy being on your own and not needing anybody, then I think when you've been on your own for so long, it's actually quite sometimes challenging to be with somebody and to think about somebody else when all you've ever thought about is yourself. And you might think that's selfish, because that's how the system wants you to believe. The system wants you to join both corporations together and become a company or a corporation, or some kind of limited business. That's the system. That's how it works. So when you get married, it feeds the system. That's why when you get divorced, you'll split up your partnership, and then your assets will get divided, and the only people who win is normally the lawyers, who take everything from you. That feeds the system, you see. So when you don't want to be in that system and you reject that system, it's hard to have a relationship with somebody who's in that brain set, mind washing, programming system. So I can't imagine it'd be in a relationship that long, but it's very interesting indeed. But you never know. You never know. They say the longer you stay on your own, the more you kind of love your own space. At one time, when I was married, and Susie wanted to do something and go somewhere, I'm like, well, why would you do that? We're married. We're meant to be together. This is how naive I was. And she was absolutely right. She should have done. But I couldn't think out of that, because I was still in that same system programming. And now I can't even think of anything more beautiful than being on my own and having time to go anywhere I want on my own without having to think about anything. And it's not that it's selfish. It's just that there's something very, very special about, there's even talks about people sleeping in separate bedrooms, because sometimes it's very difficult for people to sleep together. It could be snoring. It could be energy. It could be anything that is difficult for one or the other. It's not just for one. It could be for both, and they didn't even realize it. And there's something sacred about sleeping as well. So I get that now. I never got it before, but now I get it. And to be fair, I actually enjoy sleeping on my own and meditating, because there's no there's nothing to interfere with whatever I'm working on and channeling that night. And so I'll work with crystals, and you know, I don't want my partner to be next to me while I'm meditating with crystals, you know, because I've got crystals all over. And then I'll go into a deep meditation as I'm working on those crystals and trying to channel at the same time. So it's like I've started to hear people say, you know what, it's actually really beautiful sleeping on your own. And these are people who are married. And not everybody can do that because they don't have an extra bedroom to do that. And some people do it for the purpose of that. I mean, I'm sorry, but I can't. I have to sleep in another town, meaning that I can't cope with it. It's not your fault. I know it's not your fault, but I can't cope with that. Just like you probably couldn't cope with me in my energy, because when I've finished healing or working on crystals, there's a lot of movement in your body because your energy is completely different from not doing the energy work. So there's a lot of twisting, there's a lot of flicks, there's a lot of movement because your energy's being, I don't know, rebalanced. Things are happening, mind, body, and spirit, when you work in this field of work of energy. So I find it really interesting that a lot of people have sent messages, because I posted a video of a woman. Basically, it was a joke, but there's truth in it. And she was saying, can you stop breathing so heavy? Yeah, now it's kind of coming at me. So can you stop doing that? Can you stop moving? Can I put the pillow in between us? And like, it was kind of a joke. I posted it on Instagram, but actually people were saying it's actually quite very sacred if you can sleep in your own energy. I know two people who might, you know, come together to make love or cuddle, but then afterwards going into their separate rooms and falling asleep and having a good night's sleep in their energy without being woken up by their partner, or vice versa, you waking your partner up. It's actually it's a very delicate subject, actually, because it upsets people, this one. It gets people really upset, but you might completely listen. I've been in a bedroom with my wife for 20 years. So it's only now that we split up and then I became single and then I started sleeping on my own, realizing, wow, the sleep is incredible. So it's a lot more powerful in so many ways. Not that I don't miss the cuddles and being in bed with somebody. I'm talking about the sleep, that moment where, okay, it's now time to go into the sleep, and now you're going to astral travel. You're going to leave the body and you're going to work and you're going to do things, which is really quite beautiful. So it's really interesting. It's really interesting subject. I don't need to ask you if you sleep with your partners or not. It's not important, and it's intrusive. But it is interesting, fascinating, really. So, yeah, it was nice to speak to you all. I haven't really got much to say today, to be fair. It's been just a lovely day, and no, there's no negativity around me at the moment at all. I don't know what it is, but I did a reading a few weeks ago. It might have been a week ago, and I just wanted to know what's gonna happen to us all. And I think what I turned over, it's getting a bit dark now. I think what I turned over was a card that related to not being as affected by what's happening in this world. And like, you know, Richie Allen, all of us really who are doing online work and, you know, speaking what we feel is wrong with the world and how we feel the system is not only corrupt, but it's all almost demonic, if not, it is demonic. The system that feeds the very nature of the beast, and that we see suffering all the time. And I mean, I don't know much about the UK and what's going on there, but I do I would only say that whoever's running that place, whoever's there, is probably no different from the last 10 people who run it. And the people are always, you know, last to receive anything. And those that run these are made to look like they run these corporations, because that's all they are. It's all about corporation. It's all about the law of the land and the law of the sea. And, you know, it's all take from the poor, basically. How much we can steal from the poor and give to our rich friends. It's a big club and you're not in it. So I don't really, you know, one time, I think through the pandemic, I think we got so tired, we got so sick, we got so ill with knowing what was happening and feeling what was happening. And we were becoming, from one point we were laughing to then we stopped laughing. There was nothing funny about any of this. And we pretended to laugh sometimes. You've got to laugh, because if you don't laugh, you're going to cry, right? That ended. And then we started getting a little bit bitter. Don't know about you, but I did. And I started to get a bit negative, and I started to feel bad, and I started to get sick. You could see it in my face. And there's not only me, there's lots of people who went through the same thing. And we're starting getting really sick because of what were happening, and we were sharing our truth, but it was becoming really toxic. And a lot of people left my channel because they couldn't stand it anymore. But I just couldn't stop myself. I kept saying, I know I shouldn't be doing this, and I knew I shouldn't be doing it, but I couldn't stop. And it wasn't about whether I give a shit about what people think. I just think for myself, for my own sanity. You know, we all know what's going on, but for my own sanity, I just need to stop. But I couldn't. I got pulled back into it again, and I get angry again, and I get bitter and upset because people aren't seeing what we're seeing. People aren't doing anything. Nobody was standing up. And then people, the only time they stood up was to queue a doctor's surgery or a chemist to get a jab. So it was just becoming like giving up on humanity completely. Who am I? Because I don't belong to this group of people. I can't do. So we got very bitter, and you know, I think Richie Allen got a bit tired and sick, and you could see him getting upset and feeling angry, and then we all went the same way. We all went the same way. We were begrudged. We were bitter, and it was because of our empathy of what we were seeing happening to people that we didn't want to see. We weren't angry at the people. We were angry at the people who were doing it to them. We were upset that people did it and they couldn't see it. So there was so many frustrations. It was awful. But then I did a reading the other week, and in that reading came out that things wouldn't affect us as much. And I think I read for me as well. I'm like, I don't think things are going to affect us as bad. It's like something's happened. And I've got to be honest, but I'm not being affected as much. And I'm not needing to start scream and shout or to tell you what's happening and all the problems, because something's happened. I don't know whether it's in the stars, whether it's, you know, some kind of change, or I don't know what it is, but I don't feel the same as I did do a month ago. I don't feel the same as last year and the year before and the year before. I feel different. And I don't actually feel any guilt neither. I'm not drawn to any of the drama, which we all know there's drama 24/7. Maybe that's it. Maybe the fact that I know it's drama every day, something's just happened that says enough drama. I'm done with it. And although I'll post silly things, there's no energy attached to it anymore, meaning that I'm not affected anymore. It doesn't bother me anymore, and nothing can surprise me anymore. I said that before, but I meant it, but it still hurt. Whereas I say nothing surprises me anymore. but now it doesn't hurt and I don't feel guilty. And I don't know why, but I'm thankful. This is the first time it's ever happened to me. I don't know if it's anything to do with you guys, but if you felt any change or any different, but it's really not affecting me anymore. And I'm really thankful. And I think I mentioned it was like a bit like a holiday. And did I mention something about 6 months? It might last 6 months and then it might start again. Well, you know what? I'm going to take this 6 months and try and recuperate my energy and start to bring some sanity back into my own life and existence and try and build some kind of normality in my own life instead of spending all of the past 4 or 5 years in absolute cesspit of fear and worry for everybody else. See, I didn't worry about myself. I worried about everybody else because they can't fool me, but I know they're fooling everybody else. So that's why I went through the suffering. I suffered for others, and it's hard for people to understand that. But anyway, like I said, it's strange, but I'm here not knowing what to say. And I'm sure there's a lot of things to say about what's going on in the UK and Spain and all that, but I'm not saying it. So maybe I'm going to lose another load of friends because my friends now who are on here may expect me to scream and shout and talk about the bad things in this world. But, you know, there's only so much, I guess, you can say and do. And I guess you could say you could keep going till your last breath. And I think I probably would have done, but something's changed, something's happened. And I have a different outlook on it now. And I don't know why. I can't say I've been for therapy. I can't say I've given myself a healing session to deal with this. It's just happened naturally. It's just occurred. It's like one day it just changed. And I can't put my finger on why. I can't say whether it's the new alignment of the stars or whatever. But all I can tell you is that I do feel different, very different. And I'm not going home, or I'm not waking up, or I'm not going to sleep in that awful, awful place of frustration and worry and fear for the world and for everybody else, which surely must be a good thing, must be a good sign. I've either been given some time off for good behavior, or maybe things are changing. I don't know. I'm not sure. But all I can tell you is how I feel right now, which is really good. And I hope I can give you some of that as well by my love and as much healing as I can send you all. But I do wish you a lovely day, a lovely evening, a lovely night, morning, wherever you are. I really wish you all well. So that's it, really. Gosh, I think I'm a little bit boring now. Yeah, I think I've become boring. And I like it. All right, guys. Well, it's getting dark now. Can't upload any videos. And I better get back to the farm. He always says that. All right. Take care, everybody. Thanks for joining me. Wishing you all a lovely evening. Take care. Bye for now. Ciao.